Hi, it's time for some bedtime stories from Wood Library, and Bernard and I are ready to get started. Are you ready? Let's get our first book. And it's about a bear. I think we say that every week. This is called Bear is Not Tired. This is written and illustrated by Ciara Gavin and is published by Alfred A. Knopf. Bear and the ducks lived together. They lived under the same roof, and they were one big happy family. Can you see them? Sometimes Bear forgot that he wasn't a duck. He hardly noticed the difference. Then one morning, there was a sharp chill in the air. The ducks didn't mind, but the cold tickled Bear's nose. It could only mean one thing. Winter was coming. And that meant it was nearly time for Bear to go to sleep. He'd been having so much fun, he'd forgotten all about it. Ducks don't sleep through the winter. Bear knew they would carry on as usual, and he didn't want to miss out on the fun. He even had his winter clothes all ready. So, Bear decided to stay awake. After all, he wasn't feeling the least bit sleepy. But the ducks began to notice a change in Bear. He kept falling asleep at the most inconvenient times. Bear tried to think of ways to stay awake, and the ducks tried to help him too. But nothing worked. Every sound was a lullaby. The rippling of water, the hum of the washing machine, the tap, tap, tap of baby ducks' feet. Bear was so tired, nothing made sense anymore. Mama Duck said Bear couldn't fight who he was. Bears are bears, and bears are supposed to sleep in the winter. She promised him he wouldn't miss a thing. Feeling reassured, Bear finally fell into a deep sleep. The ducks carried on with their usual winter activities, and they included Bear whenever they could. Even baby duck found a way to keep him close. And then, one morning, Bear sat up and opened his eyes. It was spring. Mama Duck had kept her promise. She even had the photos to prove it. So did Bear feel left out? No. He got to see the pictures of the fun that the ducks had, and he got a good winter's sleep. Well, shall we be bears? Actually, can you be a mountain? And put your hand right at your shoulder to be the bear. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. To see what he could see. To see what he could see. And what did he see? Why, the other side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain was all that he could see. Well, let's have another story about winter since we had kind of a snowy day here today. This is called Ridiculous, and it's written by Michael Colman with illustrations by Gwyneth Williamson and is published by Little Tiger Press. Now, you all know what a tortoise is, don't you? It's another name for turtle, pretty much. Ho hum, yawned Mr. Tortoise. Winter is here. So it is. Oh, yawned Mrs. Tortoise. Come on, Shelley, time for bed. But I don't feel sleepy yet, said Shelley. Ridiculous, said Mr. Tortoise. All tortoises go to sleep for the winter. Why? Asked Shelley. Because it's cold outside and there's no food. But I don't want to go to sleep, said Shelley. I want to see what winter is like. Ridiculous, said Mr. and Mrs. Tortoise together. Who ever heard of a tortoise outside in winter? Now soon Mr. Tortoise began to snore. And not long after that, Mrs. Tortoise began to snore. And not long after that, Shelley left her warm bed of leaves and out she went through a hole in the shed to see what winter was like. Outside the shed, Shelley blinked. There was snow and ice everywhere, even on the duck pond and on the hill. And as she lumbered along, a duck spotted her. A tortoise out in winter? Quacked the duck. Ridiculous. No, it isn't, said Shelley. Oh, no? Well, then let's see you break through the ice to get food like I can. Ha, quack, ha. He's right, thought Shelley. I can't do that. I don't have a beak. As Shelley began to walk up the hill, she met a dog. A tortoise out in winter? Barked the dog. Ridiculous. No, it isn't, said Shelley, feeling a little cross. Oh, no? Well, then let's see you keep warm by running around like I can. Ha, woof, ha. He's right, thought Shelley sadly. I can't do that either. The dog ran off after a cat, but the cat climbed up a tree. She looked down at Shelley. A tortoise out in winter? Ridiculous. No, it isn't, said Shelley even more crossly. Oh, no? Well, then let's see you run into a nice warm house as quickly as I can. Ah, meow. She's right, thought Shelley, shivering with the cold. I can't run like a dog or a cat. I'm just too slow. The cat raced off into her house before the dog could catch her, and Shelley trudged toward the top of the hill where she met a bird. A tortoise out in winter? Cheeped the bird. Ridiculous. No, it isn't, snapped Shelley. Oh, no? Well, then let's see you fly home and cuddle up with your family like I can, said the bird. Ha, cheep, ha. Of course I can't fly, thought Shelley. I can't even hop. Shelley felt cold and miserable. She remembered her warm, cozy bed, and a tear trickled down her cheek. They're all right, she thought. A tortoise out in winter is ridiculous. She was so sad she didn't notice the big patch of ice up ahead, and she slipped on it. Shelley fell over backward and began to slide down the hill. Faster and faster she went. Faster than a dog could run. Faster than a cat. Until suddenly she hit a bump, and she flew in the air like a bird. Whee! And then with a thump, Shelley landed on the icy duck pond and slid toward the hole in the shed. But it was all covered up with ice. Ha, quack, ha! What did I say? Cried the duck as she slid by him. Where's your beak to break the ice with? I don't have a beak, thought Shelley, but I do have a shell. And tucking her head inside that shell, she broke through the ice into the shed, and she was home. Hearing all the noise, Mrs. Tortoise woke up. You haven't been outside, have you, Shelley? She asked. A tortoise out in winter, Mom? Said Shelley, snuggling into bed. And before she could say, ridiculous, well, she was fast asleep. So let's do a finger play about some monkeys who should be asleep. Can you get your 5 little monkeys ready and get their bed ready too? I've got 5 little monkeys who were jumping on the bed. When one fell off, he bumped his head. So Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, No more monkeys jumping on the bed, so hide one away. Then 4 little monkeys were jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head, so Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So that means 2 little monkeys are jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head, so Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. And that leaves 1 little monkey who is jumping on the bed. When she fell off, she bumped her head. Well, her mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So there are no more monkeys, but we have another story. And this is called Socks for Supper. I wonder what you had for supper. I doubt anybody here had socks. This is written and illustrated by Jack Kent and is published by Parents Magazine Press. There are the socks. In a faraway place, in a long ago time, there lived an old man and his wife, and they were very poor. All they had was a tumble-down house and a tiny turnip garden. One day, he said to his wife, one can get tired of eating nothing but turnips. Now, not far away, there lived a couple who had a cow. The old man and his wife used to look at that cow and dream of milk and cheese. Maybe they'll sell us some, said the old man. We don't have any money, his wife reminded him. Well, perhaps we could trade them something for some milk, said the old man. Perhaps we could, his wife agreed. So they searched the house for something to trade. They looked and looked, but the only thing they could find that wasn't in pieces or tatters was a pair of socks. Well, the old man took the socks and went to see the couple who had the cow. And a little while later, he came happily home again with a bucket of milk and a small cheese. Oh, this is so good, said his wife. But it wasn't long before they began to wish they had some more. But they didn't have any more socks to trade. I will knit some, said the old woman. But she didn't have any yarn. So she unraveled part of the old man's sweater and knitted a pair of socks with that. And they again traded socks for milk and cheese. And they feasted just as they had before. And when it was all gone, the old woman knitted another pair of socks using yarn from the old man's sweater. And once again, the old man traded them for milk and cheese. Yum. When that was gone, the old woman started knitting again. Oh, but there was only now just enough yarn left for 1 sock. What good is 1 sock? The old woman asked. They won't trade any milk or cheese for that. We'll see, said the old man, and he took that sock to the couple with the cow. I only have half a pair of socks this time, he said. Would you trade half a bucket of milk and half a cheese for this? Oh, that's not necessary, said the farmer. You see, said the farmer's wife, 1 sock is exactly what I need. She was knitting her husband a sweater for Christmas. She'd gotten the yarn by unraveling the socks, and she needed just 1 more to finish the job. But, oh my, the sweater didn't fit. So the wife gave it to the old man, for she had noticed he didn't have one. And guess what? It was just the right size. I wonder if they'll trade that sweater again for more milk and cheese. Yum. Well, I've got 5 little hot dogs that are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. So 4 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. 3 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. 2 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and the one went bam. 1 little hot dog is cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and the one went bam. So now no little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and the pan went bam. Well, does that make you hungry? Do you know even aliens get hungry? In fact, our next story is called Even Aliens Need Snacks. This is written and illustrated by Matthew McElligott, and it's published by Walker and Company. Look at those aliens. Aren't they interesting? My mom is a great cook. She always lets me help out in the kitchen. She even lets me make up my own recipes. Today I invented an eggplant, mustard, and lemonade smoothie. It's delicious. My sister says it's disgusting. She says that no one in the world would eat the things I cook. She said that no one in the whole universe would eat the things I cook. We'll see. Now he's made a stand here. It says snacks, waffles, smoothies, sandwiches, and he's just put up a sign that says O-P-E-N, open. Well, he waited and waited and waited, but nobody came. But then someone did. I knew my idea was good. I just had the hours wrong. I run back inside and get dressed. My first customer is from out of town. He really likes my mushroom iced tea. I think he even tries to pay me for it. And it doesn't take long before word starts to spread. And as the summer goes by, I learn that each customer has a favorite dish. Some like my Swiss cheese donut holes. Some like my turnip upside down cake. Some prefer sponge cake with leeks. And bean puffs are especially popular with the guys from the gas planets. Even my toothpaste soup is a big hit. Look at all those teeth. But the next week, next week school starts, and it's time to close up for the summer. I decided to try something special for my last night. A dessert made from every single one of my favorite ingredients. I call it galactic pudding. It will be my masterpiece. You could have fun looking at all the things he's going to put in it. I open early, and my customers are already lined up. They can't wait to try the pudding. and I can't wait to hear what they think of it. Blah. Ooh, yuck. Well, I liked it. I guess my sister was right. There really are some things that no one else in the universe will eat. She's having. Is that what he was serving? I think it was. I think that's his galactic soup. Yep. And she liked it. She really did. Well, can you shake, shake, shake your sillies out? Shake, shake, shake your sillies out. Shake, shake, shake your sillies out and wiggle your waggles away. And can you clap, clap, clap your crazies out? Clap, clap, clap your crazies out. Clap, clap, clap your crazies out and wiggle your waggles away. Can you stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out? Stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out. Stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out and wiggle your waggles away. Are you ready to stand up? Because it's time to jump. Can you jump, jump, jump your jiggles out? Jump, jump, jump your jiggles out. Jump, jump, jump your jiggles out and wiggle your waggles away. Can you yawn? Yawn your sleepies out. Yawn. Yawn your sleepies out. Yawn. Yawn your sleepies out and wiggle your waggles away. Can you shake, shake, shake your sillies out? Shake, shake, shake your sillies out. Shake, shake, shake your sillies out and wiggle your waggles away. Well, we had two stories about critters that should be sleeping all winter long, but they wanted to stay awake just to see what they might have been missing. We had two stories about eating. Now we're back to staying awake, but this isn't an animal who wants to stay awake. It's a boy named Jake. And this is called Jake Stays Awake. It's written and illustrated by Wright, and it's published by Feiwel and Friends. There was a little boy whose name was Jake, and every night he'd stay awake. Unless I can sleep with my parents, he said, I won't close my eyes and I won't go to bed. So every night around 10:44, he'd wander up to his mom and dad's door and stare there and knock till they finally said, all right, Jake, you can sleep in our bed. This drove his poor parents straight up a tree. They had a bed made for two, not a bed made for three. We love you, dear Jake, but we can't even doze. How can we sleep with your toes up our nose? But night after night, for a moment of rest, they let Jake climb in. They thought it was best. And that's when they knew something had to be done. Their sleeping arrangements were no longer fun. So his mother and father thought hard and thought long and came up with a plan that just couldn't go wrong. We'll sleep with you, son, just not in our bed. Is there some other place we could try out instead? Jake considered their offer a second or two. Then smiling, he said, I know just what to do. He headed outside and pointed straight up. Uh-oh, thought his parents. No way, thought his pup. So they climbed to the roof and attempted to sleep. But sleep's pretty tricky with something so steep. Then nervously Jake said, "Perhaps we should try finding some other spot that's not quite so high." Jake climbed up the stairs and said, "Let's all sleep here." But that turned out to be a big pain in the rear. You see they're on the stairs, on the landing. Jake jumped in the bathtub with his rubber duck. Then in popped his parents, and they all got stuck. He thought that the kitchen might be a good place, but it's tough to sleep when you're feeding your face. The garbage can seemed a great idea at first, till things started stinking like old liverwurst. The car was as boring could be, like taking a long drive with nothing to see. As he lay there and listened to his parents snore, Jake thought of the one place he hadn't before. Instead of the roof or the stairs or the bath, instead of the kitchen, the car, or the trash, he thought that his bed didn't sound quite so bad, so he whispered, "Good night," to his mom and his dad. Jake walked himself back to the bed in his room, where he slept without moving till 1:45. His parents are happy again with their son, and everyone's realized it's not always fun to have kids sleep with parents night after night. But every once in a while, well, that's quite all right. Well, I think something else that would be quite all right now would be for you to find your bubble gum. So reach in your pocket and pull out your piece of pretend bubble gum, unwrap it, and pop it in your mouth. We'll have you chew it up, and then we'll do something disgusting with it. Ready, set, go. Okay, put your hand out. I'll count to 3 and we'll spit our gum in our hand. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And clap your other hand on top, and that means we've got sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your knee. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your back. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your chin. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your cheek. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your arm. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your nose. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on mom or dad. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your toe. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum. Time to throw it in the trash. On stick. I think it's time for our flannel board story. And look, they're already up here waiting for us. There were 5 fat snowmen knocking at my door. 1 melted away. And then there were 4. 4 fat snowmen were playing here with me. 1 more melted, and then there were 3. 3 fat snowmen, all with mittens blue. 1 melted away, and then there were 2. 2 fat snowmen, and before the day was done, another 1 melted, and that left just 1. 1 fat snowman stayed out in the sun. Silly fat snowman. Whoop. Now there are none. With our Sandra Boynton book. And this week we're having the big one. This is called Good Night, Good Night, and it's published by Little Simon. The sun has set not long ago. Now everybody goes below to take a bath in one big tub with soap all over. Scrub, scrub, scrub. They hang their towels on the wall and find pajamas, big and small. And with some on top and some beneath, they brush and brush and brush their teeth. And when the moon is on the rise, they all go up to exercise. And then down once more, but not so fast. They're on their way to bed at last. They climb into their feather bed with some at the foot and some at the head. And 2 little rabbits sing a song while everybody hums along. Can you hum? The hippos, big hippos, will dance in the mud. The piggies will follow them in. And down in that hollow will elephants wallow in mud that comes up to their chins. The cats and the bears, the lions and dogs, the rhinos and moose come along. 2 rabbits, that's we 2, will gladly agree to sing everyone's dream in a song. The day is done. They say good night. And somebody turns off the light. The moon is high, the sea is deep, and they rock and rock and rock to sleep. So those are our stories. Thank you for joining me and my friend Bernard for our bedtime stories here at Wood Library. And we'll be back next week with some more fun stories. See you then.